Hello everyone. In the previous video we have discussed about pointers. The first topic was introduction to pointer. Basically pointers means that address the memory location of any variable. Let's suppose if we have a variable having value 50, the pointer will point to the address of this variable. In the given diagram it is clear that let's suppose we have a variable having value 50. Now we declare a pointer ptr. This pointer will store the address of var, that is 1001, which is the address of variable var. This we have discussed in the last video. Then we have discussed about pointer arithmetic. We can do increment, decrement, addition with the help of pointers. We can add two values. Then subtraction, comparison. After that we have discussed pointer to pointer. Now the last topic of pointer is pointer related problems that we can face during the pointers. First one is a null pointer. Basically null pointer is a pointer that points to nothing. For example, let's suppose we have declared a pointer. We don't have any address to assign that pointer at that time. That means that is it. We can initialize it as a null. Or we can say that if we do not have address to be assigned to a pointer, then we can simply use null. For example, the below is a given example. In this int main, firstly we have declared the null pointer. That means int is a data type, star ptr is a pointer name which is initialized at null. That means we don't have any value to initialize a pointer. At that time when we don't have any address, we can put it as equals to null. Now printf value of ptr will be ptr. We can either use %x or %p. ptr, that means we are assigning null to it. That means output will be nil. क्लियर. दैट मीन्स जब हमारे पास कोई भी वैल्यू इनिशियलाइज करने के लिए नहीं है, जैसे हम सबसे पहले क्या करते हैं, फर्स्टली वी हैव टू डिक्लेयर ए पॉइंटर, देन वी इनिशियलाइज दैट पॉइंटर टू द एड्रेस ऑफ सम वेरिएबल. नाउ व्हेन वी डोंट हैव एनी एड्रेस टू असाइन, जब हमारे पास कुछ नहीं होता असाइन करने के लिए, एट दैट टाइम वी विल इनिशियलाइज इट एज नल, and the output of this is the value of output will be nil. This was a null pointer. Second one is a void pointer. Basically void is a data type. As we know, void is a data type. Void pointers are used. How can we write void pointer? Just declare the data type void. What do you mean by void? Void is a data type. It means that we can assign address of char data type to the void pointer. We can assign address of integer data type to the void pointer. We can assign address of float data type to the void pointer. That means void pointer is a pointer that can be assigned the character address of a character data type, that can assign the address of a integer. That means इनमें से किसी भी आप data type का address void pointer को दे सकते हो. That means void pointer can point out to the integer variable, void pointer can point out to the float variable, void pointer can point out to the char variable. That means कि हम void pointer को कोई भी data type कोई भी value address के लिए use कर सकते हैं. अगर हम point करते हैं char के लिए, तो वो क्या बन जाएगा, अगर हम char का एड्रेस साइन कर रहे हैं, इट विल बी a char pointer. इफ वी आर असाइनिंग एड्रेस ऑफ ए फ्लोट डेटा टाइप, इट विल बिकम द फ्लोट पॉइंटर. दैट मीन्स any pointer type is convertible to the void pointer, hence it can point to any value. It can point to integer value, it can point to the float value, it can point to the character value, it can point to the double value, and so on. Basically void does not have any specific type. It can point to any type of data. Now this is the example of void pointer. Firstly we have declared the header files. Now in the void main, firstly we will use two variables so that we can we can prove the use of void pointer. We can simply use the void pointer as integer as well as float. So we declare two values. First one is int x is equals to 4. That means we initialize as x is equals to 4 as an integer. X is an integer value whose value is equals to integer variable whose value is equals to 4. Now we declare a float variable, that is float y is equals to 5.5. This is a x is a integer variable and y is a floating variable. Now after that we will declare a void pointer. Now the syntax for pointer is simply we know type means data type, space, star and pointer name. Here the type will be void pointer. So we declare void space star ptr. Clear? This is the declaration. Now next step will be how to assign the address to pointer. The after void star pointer, next line is ptr is equals to ampersand x. That means we are passing the address of x. Now as we know x is an integer. So during the output we have to write printf integer value, integer variable is, or we can write the value of integer is, value is %d. Now star int star ptr. Why we write star? Star ptr will give the value simply. Now why there is a need of int star here? Because it will convert the pointer to the integer. That means it will point to the integer value. Now the first time the output will be 4. Now, when we put ptr is equals to ampersand y, means we are assigning the address of float variable. So during its output we have to write printf float variable is %f for floating. Now we have to mention float star. Then what we have to do is star float star ptr. That means now the pointer will represent the value of float variable, that is 5.5. That means फर्स्ट हमारी आउटपुट क्या आएगी, हम अगर हम पॉइंटर को क्या एड्रेस दे रहे हैं, इंटीजर का. इफ़ वी आर असाइनिंग द इंटीजर एड्रेस टू द पॉइंटर ptr, तो आउटपुट क्या आएगी हमारी, इंटीजर ही आएगी. अगर हम फ्लोट दे रहे हैं तो फ्लोट आएगी. पहले में हमने क्या करा, किसका एड्रेस हमने डाला, x का. दैट मीन्स आउटपुट क्या आएगी, x की वैल्यू दैट इज 4. That's why we are writing int star. That means this pointer will point to the integer. Now next we have written ptr is equals to ampersand y. Y क्या है, हमारे पास floating variable है. That means we are defining address of floating variable. We are now ptr will point to the floating value. That means for the first time output will be 4. For the second line output will be 5.5. That means void pointer can point to any data type. If we want, अगर हमने उसके अंदर integer का address डाला, it will point to integer data type. अगर हमने उसके अंदर floating का address डाला, ये किसको point out करेगा, floating variable को. अगर हम उसके अंदर char का डालते हैं तो char का वो point out करेगा. This is all about void pointer that can point to any data type. Now third is a wild pointer. Basically wild pointer is that which has not been initialized to anything, not even null. That means let's suppose we have created a pointer, we do not initialize it. As we know, we have to initialize a pointer by specifying the address, ampersand sign and then variable name. If we have declared a pointer but do not initialize it, not even null. अगर आपने एक pointer declare कर दिया, उसको initialize नहीं करा, इवन की नल के इक्वल भी नहीं डाला, at that time the pointer will known as the wild pointer. Clear? This example, the following example show about wild pointer. I have declared a pointer that is int star p. This is a declaration pointer and we are using any variable, that is int x is equals to 10. But we do not initialize the pointer p. For initialization we have to write p is equals to ampersand x or p is equals to null. But हमने initialize नहीं करा, not any address or not even null. अगर उसको initialize नहीं करते हैं, at that time p is known as a wild pointer. Now here star p we have declared a pointer. It has not been initialized to anything. That's why this p is will known as wild pointer. Now fourth one is a dangling pointer. Dangling pointer means a pointer points to the memory location that has been deleted or freed. That is known as dangling pointer. For example, let's suppose I have created a variable a having value 50 and having address 1001. Let's suppose I delete a variable a, but still I have deleted the variable a, value is deleted, but there is still a pointer that points to this free memory. At that time the pointer is known as dangling pointer. As we have discussed in the first slide, let's suppose we have a variable var having value 50 with address 1001 which is pointed by the ptr. लेट्स सपोज आई डिलीट VAR, मैंने ये VAR डिलीट कर दिया, 50 वैल्यू भी डिलीट कर दी. लेट्स सपोज PTR फिर भी पॉइंट आउट कर रहा है उस वेरिएबल को जिसमें कुछ नहीं है, जो ऑलरेडी फ्री है, जो ऑलरेडी डिलीट हो चुका है. एट दैट टाइम पॉइंटर विल नोन एज डैंगलिंग पॉइंटर. And the last one is memory leakage. Basically, memory leakage is a type of resource leakage that occurs when a computer incorrectly manages the memory location in such a way that memory which is no longer needed is not released. Let's suppose we are assigning, when the variables are created, memories are assigned. Let's suppose the variables are not in use now, but memory is wastage. वो memory waste है, but क्योंकि वो उसमें अभी भी variables हैं जो needed वाले नहीं हैं. At that times we have a memory leak, or we can say that a memory leak may also happen when an object is stored in a memory but cannot be accessed by the running code. Let's suppose you are just creating the object which is stored in a memory and do not use the object. That means that is a wastage of memory. That concept is known as memory leak. This was all about pointer related problems. In this, first one is null pointer. Second one is null pointer means when we initialize any pointer to null, the output will be null. Then is void pointer. Void pointer means it can point to any data type. Maybe it can point integer, it can point float, it can point character data type. दिस वॉज एग्जाम्पल ऑफ void. अगर हम उसमें इफ़ वी आर असाइनिंग द पॉइंटर, अगर उसमें इंटीजर का एड्रेस डालते हैं तो इंटीजर का पॉइंट होगा, फ्लोट का डालते हैं तो फ्लोट का होगा. थर्ड वन वॉज वाइल्ड पॉइंटर. वाइल्ड पॉइंटर मीन्स विच हैज़ नॉट बीन इनिशियलाइज टू एनीथिंग, नॉट इवन नल, दैट इज ए वाइल्ड पॉइंटर. Fourth one is dangling. Dangling means pointer is there, that is pointed to the memory location, that is pointed to the variable which is deleted, that is known as dangling pointer. The last one is memory leakage, which occurs when there is a incorrectly memory management. That's it. Thank you.